Again, we have probably 20 people who would like to speak, so I'll ask you, in the interest of helping us get through everything tonight, that you try and limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is JulieDimaiwat, and before I begin, I'm speaking on behalf of myself and Nora Semino, who's behind me, because I may go just a teeny bit over the 3 minutes. So I just have to read this because I want to make sure I remember everything to say. Hi, my name is JulieDimaiwat, and my 4-year-old son is a student in his 2nd year in the full-day speech and language delay program at Wellington Elementary School. For those of you who do not know this classroom intimately, it's a classroom comprised of speech and language delayed children, whereas many of these children face other issues such as speech apraxia, ADD, ADHD, and even autism, as my son has autism. I stand before you with another mother from the classroom as representatives of our 7-student classroom. The other parents cannot attend this evening for various reasons and sent me tonight as their voice. Safety in our classroom is an issue due to a violent child in the classroom. Prior to winter break, Mrs. Amy Bermudez was removed from the classroom as told to us by administration as a staff change. But as told to parents by the current teacher, Mrs. Bermudez was removed for her safety because she is pregnant, and on occasions where she has been punched and kicked in the stomach by this said child in the classroom. We as the parents are extremely concerned and disturbed as we feel that the school itself and the district seem to be concerned with the safety of our teacher, but are ignoring the safety of our children. Said child may or may not have behavioral and/or emotional issues, and we realize that it isn't really quite our business. Either way, but to the observation of the parents of this classroom and the children themselves, which, by the way, are ages 3 to 5 years old, this child is a bully. With that said, and the district's no tolerance to bullying, this does not set a good environment for these children. Most children, but especially ours, are copycat kids. They definitely copy their peers. To have this particular child in the classroom with confirmed incidents by parents and the school alike of biting, hitting, kicking, and even throwing a heavy 2-inch thick wood puzzle, causing it to split in two, and other negative behaviors in the classroom, essentially this child is getting away with bullying and displaying negative behavior. What exactly are you teaching these children who have disabilities and different abilities? We know that the district is fully aware of these incidents as they have gone on record with the school from the teachers and the parents specifically involved, and I myself have written emails and snail mail letters to teachers, administration, and the district in October, November, December, and even January. For the most part, my letters have gone with no response from the district and minimal response from the school administration. The district has had representatives and specialists observing in the classroom on several occasions, and absolutely nothing has changed and/or appeared to have been done. To our knowledge, these negative behaviors continue. We also want to stress that this child's history of negative behavior seems to appear out of nowhere, as his moods have proven themselves to change in an instant. We want to know what exactly is the district waiting for to act in this situation. We as the parents are very sympathetic to the child and his family, but something has to give. Several parents, including myself, have gone to the school administration expressing our concern for our children as parents and as advocates for our children. And instead of the school addressing the problem child, myself and at least 2 other parents have been advised that if we don't feel our children are safe in the classroom, we are free to remove our children from the school. Statements such as that provided by our school leaves us shocked and dismayed, to say the least. Why should our children be pulled from the school and lose services that they are entitled to, instead of the school or district handling the situation and the specific child at hand? The school district is ignoring a dangerous situation. If something happens and a child gets severely hurt, the school district will be held liable, to say the least. In addition to it eventually making its way down to the taxpayer, thinking along the lines of this district being sued and eventually programs such as this being removed and cut from the system. We are asking that this situation be made your priority. We feel that since the change of teachers has occurred, the situation is seemingly being brushed under the carpet. As I stated earlier, I have personally witnessed this child go from standing still, perfectly content, and 30 seconds later lunging for a teacher with open mouth attempting to bite her and punch her.
Our minimal suggestion to the school district is to provide this child with a one-on-one. Under normal circumstances, we realize that this request must come from the child's parents themselves. But due to our children's safety concerns, the rest of the parents in this classroom are requesting it. Honestly, this would solve the majority of the immediate issues at hand because the child would be more closely monitored to possibly prevent violent outbursts in addition to much less interruption of the daily lessons and teachings. In closing, our special needs children from the day they are diagnosed with their varying differences face so many challenges. And for us as their parents, it is so difficult for us to let go and send them to school in an environment where we can't be there to protect them. And then to add a major safety concern is an outrage. This is an injustice not only to the remaining students in the class, but most importantly for this said child. For whatever his diagnosis is, the school district is ignoring the fact that he needs so much more than this particular classroom has to offer, no matter who the teacher is. Our kids need to be put first. Witnessing what goes on with this child, our impressionable children are hurt and confused, to say the least, and are an extreme loss for their education and their safety. Thank you for your time.
Dr. Johnson, this is obviously a situation that probably Safe Schools needs to take a look at, and the board needs a response on what's going on at that school.
Well, when you're dealing with 142 students ESC, they have a tremendous amount of protections, and I don't want to make too much of a specific statement here because obviously that child can be identified given the fact that you're here speaking and people that are watching this would know the classroom and the school, etc. We do have in our country right now, in this state, in this school district, an attempt to take all students and get them included into regular classes so that they can learn to function with all other students. And these are some of the challenges that we face. The kind of behaviors that you have described are unacceptable. I will agree with you on that. Trying to handle that in such a way that the child that you're speaking about can learn at the same time that the other students can learn is our challenge, and I will attend to that. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I have to comment. I also have a child with autism, which you may or may not know. He's now 21, but this is not a Safe Schools issue. This is an ESE issue that needs to be addressed through the ESE department, through the IEP process, and I think that those are the people to follow.
That is correct. That's the 94-142.
Mrs. Andrews.
I don't know if Dr. Janice Andrews is in the building tonight. She is the area superintendent. I'd like for her to spend a few minutes with this parent because she is in charge of the special ed coordinator for the area for the Wellington School, which is my school. And I would like permission from Dr. Johnson, if that can happen, whether Dr. Andrews can take a few minutes to speak to her.
Certainly.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.